I always borrow to invest. One of my favorite books that just came out with is called Fake. Fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. I use debt to invest. But to be able to do that, to go to here, to get rich, to do that, you've really got to have a lot of financial education. I don't recommend it, but it's the best way to get rich. The more debt we use, the less tax we pay. That is why I love real estate. So the reason the rich don't pay taxes is because there's 3 types of income. They'll never teach you this in school. The fake teachers will never. Okay, number 1 type of income is earned income. So these are the guys that pay tax. So when all the guys are screaming tax the rich, well, you can't tax them because they don't have jobs.
That's absolutely
It's kind of funny, isn't it? We're going to tax the rich. Oh yeah, good luck, you know. And then the second type of income is portfolio income. And portfolio income is from flipping houses, or you buy a stock for like $10, you sell it for $20. That's portfolio income. Okay? I don't do that. Trump doesn't do that. But the income that the rich work for is called passive income. Passive income is also known as cash flow. And that income is income that's flowing from here to here. It bypasses taxes. So I know it doesn't sound fair, and it isn't fair. I don't disagree with you. But what's not fair is our schools, which are part of the problem, will never explain that. And I really want to talk to you about the most important subject for all of us today, rich, young, poor, or old. It's called financial education. And as you know, our school systems teach us nothing about money, nothing. And what's happening for most people today is, they follow that age-old mantra, get a job. Well, jobs are disappearing. Not only that, is that with artificial intelligence and G5 coming, more jobs are going to get wiped out. Plus, with driverless cars, more jobs are getting wiped out. And then work hard for money, but pay taxes. Taxes are going to keep going up, sports fans. They have to. Somebody's going to pay off this massive mountain of debt stacking up all over the world. And then they tell you to get out of debt. Oh, God. Debt is money. Please understand me. In 1971, when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, money became debt. So the rich know how to use debt to get rich. The rich use debt to get rich, and the poor and middle class get wiped out because they're in debt. Again, this is my message to anybody, including millennials, is where is your head? I know most millennials, they want a high-paying job. They want to be able to pay the rent, and eat, and all this stuff. And then you dream of the big house, a nice car, and all that. But that's why 99% of Americans are broke. So when I asked Kim if she would take an accounting course, it was just 2 days.
Investing, the start of the journey on assets. But I do remember the moment down the road where, just like everybody else, I was focused on the income column, get a job, get the pay raises. If you're an hourly wage, work more hours or raise your hourly wage. What if we focus on just acquiring assets, that the assets go into the income column?
Like this. The first way you understand risk is you look in the mirror. It's who's looking back at you. You're the risk, not the investment. For example, I invest in a lot of real estate and say, oh, real estate is so risky, so I think I'll buy ETFs. So you play it safe, but you'll learn more by investing in real estate, right? Because you'll make more mistakes.
Yeah. And sometimes it's ironic because I think about it like, so blindly turning your money away to someone you barely know isn't risky. Or let's say, I don't know, maybe just depending on this job where your employer can fire you any day isn't risky either. It makes you think a little, what truly is risky for you?
Yeah.
How do you define it?
And you look at all the pensions of the school teachers, firefighters, and all the guys with 401ks, they're all bankrupt because Wall Street stole their money from them. And the Federal Reserve Bank, they're run by PhDs, like my poor dad. And PHD stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. They're a criminal operation. They're the guys stealing from our pension system. So really simply, when you look at a financial statement, there's income, expense, assets, liabilities. It's the most important statement of all. It's called the statement of cash flow. It's off to the side here. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur or a capitalist, you have to have one of these. Going to be rich, you have to have one of these. Do you learn anything about assets?
Never.
So you could be a techie and you know nothing about this.
Yeah.
And if you got Jack here and Jack here, then you're not that smart financially. An entrepreneur's got to know how to increase their income.
Yeah.
And an entrepreneur's got to know how to create assets. If you don't know those two things, you should not be an entrepreneur. You should be an employee, which is why so many young people coming out of school have massive student loan debt over here, right? But they don't know anything about this and about this here. That's risky. So the reason I say only lazy people use their own money is because it takes much more intelligence to raise capital. My rich dad forbade me from ever saying, I can't afford it. He says, figure out how you can afford it. How can you do something? Figure out how you can do something. So over my lifetime, most of the projects I've started, I've never had any money. I like not having money because it forces me to think. I get creative. I have to educate myself. I have to talk to rich guys. Hey, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? How'd you do that? And what has happened to me, and I just turned 72, I've never needed money.
안녕하세요. 오달란트입니다. 2023년 기준 한화로 약 1조 3천억 원의 자산을 가지고 있는 로버트 기요사키의 투자 원칙 6가지를 번역해 보았습니다. 로버트는 실체가 있는 자산에 투자하는 것을 원칙으로 하는데요. 그래서 주로 부동산, 금, 비트코인 같은 가치와 실물이 연동되는 자산에 투자를 하죠. 저와는 조금 다른 원칙을 가졌음에도 이 영상을 소개한 이유는 바로 현금 흐름에 대해 누구보다 많은 인사이트를 제공해 주기 때문입니다. 로버트는 이야기합니다. 가난한 사람들은 소비를 원합니다. 그러나 부자들은 자본을 원합니다. 여러분은 어느 쪽이신가요? 댓글로 여러분만의 투자 원칙을 이야기해 주세요.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.